and welcome to Becky's House of Sewing. I'm Becky, that's Mia, sweet Mia, and I'm here after my vacation. It's the week after my vacation, so I apologize it's a little later than I wanted to video, but it's a busy work week, end of the month, end of the quarter, you gotta get things done. So I didn't have a lot of time to record, but I have a lot of things to share. Stitching vacation retreat, Operation Quilt My Quilt, definitely got done. You can kind of see a peek of it right here, and I'll show you a little more detail of it. So I basically got everything I wanted to done, but I crafted so hard. I had to go to the chiropractor when I got back from vacation. So I did have it really was a good vacation. I got to stitch, I got to sew, I got to kind of relax, watch movies. It was really great. So much what I needed, which is great. Let's get into it, right? I got stuff to share. So this is fully finished minus a label. I do have the label filled out, I just don't have it sewn on yet. So as long as I get it sewn on by March, I'll be happy. Hey, sweet Mia. Got the itchies? Alright, so it's about 5.5 by 5.5 feet. There's no good way to show you. It is on my Instagram if you kind of want to see a picture of its entirety. But I think up close you get to see much more scrappiness, and you can see I faced the quilt, which is a different kind of binding. Instead of wrapping it to the front, you fold it to the back, and I think it gives it a great look. It was also my mother's idea, and you do what my mother tells you to. It works out. It's usually the right way to do it. Not to mention it's always easier to follow your mother's instructions. You can see here where I did some cross stitch in the centers, and I have about 5 of those. Let's see if I can find another one fairly easily. There's one. It's upside down, but you get the drift. So fun. And yes, I did everything myself. I don't know if you can kind of see the wavy stitch. That is a stitch on my Janome. There are some machines that you can accomplish a stitch by elongating a zigzag as well, but I actually just have the wavy stitch on my machine, so I was able to do that. And here you can kind of see. Can you see it a little bit better? I thought you might be able to. What I did is I used 3 types of threads. I used light pink. Here, I don't know if you can kind of see here. Well, it's going to blow out with my light, with my old Dazor lamp. So I did pink, a light pink, a light green kind of turquoise-ish, and then I did a yellow, a light butter yellow, and I used it in the top and the bottom, and just kind of echoed the quilt the best I could, and also I didn't, like you can kind of see here, like I kind of like how like some parts are wider, some parts are skinnier. And when I got to the cross stitch sections, there's a part of me that just didn't want to sew over the cross stitching. So let's see if I can find a cross stitch here, where I just kind of then went around the cross stitch. Here you go. Look, I'm showing you different ones. So I don't know if you can kind of see here. Sorry, quilts are heavy. Where I just kind of went up to it and then turned around and went back down. Otherwise I went end to end on the quilt. Oh, those ladybugs, aren't those adorable? But I'm real pleased with how this turned out. Haven't washed it yet. I know I have some extra scant seams in here, so I'm hoping that it won't fall apart in the wash, but I feel like I've stitched it down enough that everything will stay in place for the most part. I do intend to put this in the Charlotte Quilters Guild show in March. So if you want to come see it in person, come to Charlotte. Come to our quilt show. It's going to be a big one. We're very excited. And I hope to have another quilt in there, but for sure this one will be in here. I think I will refrain from washing it until that time. So I will fold this back up and put it in a place where I can still kind of look at it, but keep it kind of neat and clean until the time comes. So yay! And I did the calculations. I started this quilt last September. So 9 months is not that long for this arduous of a quilt pattern. So yay Becky. Good job me. I certainly have quilting whips in there that are longer than that I've kind of abandoned. So here's another cross stitch. I found another cross stitch. These are the Lori Holt stitch card patterns that I did. I did all 4 in this set. I don't remember the number of the set. I know they have like alphabet numbers to them, but alphabet letters, I suppose. But isn't it nice? So pretty. And just all kinds of fabric in here, stuff that my mother's given me, stuff that I've bought, stuff from other projects. I love a scrappy quilt, I'm not gonna lie. And I did use the color wheel to help me. What I would do is I would, let me get to this block here. I would cut out a bunch of pieces, just kind of have like a little bit of a cutting party, and have them on design boards that I could kind of stack up when not in use. So then I would grab a square and I would kind of lay out my block and then take it to the sewing machine to sew together. You could almost chain piece this to a certain degree. Jen Kingwell, who created this pattern, she actually sewed this all by hand. She likes sewing the curves by hand. She thinks she has a little more control over it that way, which I totally see her point. But what I would do is I would say, what colors are complementary to this, what are kind of opposed to this, and then I would try to do light darks, mediums, and such like that, because I didn't want to be too heavy in any one kind of category. But to a certain degree you can't, like you can kind of see this one is in comparison, this one has a lot more light and this is a lot more dark. So this square, this is the square. So yeah, with a scrappy quilt, you want to think about it and then you don't want to think about it. Kind of the beauty of it is how it kind of all falls apart, falls together. So yes, I did kind of think about it to a certain degree. And in the layout, I kind of played around on my design wall and took pictures and did the black and white thing and just made sure it was fairly balanced. But in the end, I know things got rearranged to a certain degree because I can't, my design wall is right behind my sewing machine, and from the design wall to the sewing machine, sometimes you forget the order that you put it in. It happens. Just like counting is hard, so is sewing. So you just kind of have to have a happy accident, be a little Bob Ross about it. But again, I really like how I balance the colors, making sure I had a little bit of everything in there, and it turned out nice. So I'm excited to cozy up underneath it. As I talked about last week, I have another finish. Well, I didn't talk about it last week, but I told you what I was working on. So in lieu of instantly tearing into the Artsy Housewife's, what is it called? The wildflowers and weeds and wildflowers, which is the birthday salve for Caroline of Evertoast, and Off the Grid Needleworks. I had bought this pattern and I finished it. Look how cute that is. Sorry, it got wrinkly. I took it to stitching today, so I didn't re-iron it. But I still love you guys. A couple things I did, and now this is not any of the colors that are called for. I did a conversion out of the color and cotton threads that were given to me or gifted to me about a month ago. And in the pot, everything is 1/2 except for in the pot. I kind of wanted the black to be stronger, which I now think was a mistake. It looks great. I'm not upset with how it looks, but it is definitely a different texture than the other colors, and it was probably a little unnecessary. But I wanted the black, and you can tell in the Vicious wording how it has a little more openness, and you see a little more of the ground fabric. And I'm sorry, it's later in the day, so, and we had a thunderstorm, so it's darker. I wanted it to be less opaque, so I doubled it up, and in hindsight, probably a little extra work that I didn't need to do, but it's not like it's a ginormous pattern, so it's fine. Yay! I think I'm going to finish this up as a little flat fold, and literally seconds after completing this, I started something new. I had it out. So as I mentioned last week, I found Chubby Bird. So I did another conversion, and this is a really tiny chart. It's like 69 by 69-ish kind of deal. So it is whipped up into no time. It is not completed yet, but it will be soon. But this is where I'm at. Look how cute that little chubby bird is. So this is a Doubloon 40 count linen. I don't know the company that dyed it, but it is Doubloon. So if you recognize that from whatever hand dyer. I got this in 2022 when I was at Brick City cross stitch store. And I kind of wanted to, I have a nice big piece too, so, well, not big, it's relative, but, you know, this was like in their half off bin, so it was like $7.50, half off that, and so I always like to grab those little pieces, because it's fun to have a little variety in the stash. So I wanted the acorns to kind of land, because they're close to this color, in a darker area, so I just started in the modeling that I wanted to, and I started this way and worked down. So I need to go back and do the flowers. The bird is done entirely at this point. I finished that up today at Sunday Stitching, and he's a cutie patootie. Not the called for, but very cute nonetheless. So that was delightful. Again, at stitching, people brought things, and I should actually, I don't have it. I guess I'll just show it next time. Where did I put it? You don't even know it. Oh, I have it here. We're gonna start, let the birthday celebrations begin. This is my first birthday present. That's not something I bought. Look at this beautiful bag. Nicole made me a bag. She's got cool new tags. So if you buy her bags, I know she's making bags and selling them on Etsy. She's a bag making fool. And I got this to go with it. A little Tilda fabric. She's very generous to give that to me. We're all turning 50. There's 3 of us in our sewing group on Sundays that are turning 50. I'm the first, daring where the others are yet to dare. So isn't that fun? Don't be jelly. You too can get your own. Nicole was complaining though that this material is now all sold out. So she can't find it anywhere. So this is, I know it's Tilda brand. I know there are a couple different colorways of this. And she was sad she couldn't get any more. So that's that. So not 1, but 2 bags. I'm a lucky girl. Lucky, lucky girl. All right, so I've got news for you guys. Because my mother is awesome, and we're both on Instagram and we like to scroll. She's recently been getting a lot of things to do in Charlotte kind of reels in her feed, and she was informed, or something popped up on her reel called Upcycled Arts. And it is very similar to Reconsidered Goods in Charleston. Words are hard. I had spaghetti for dinner, so I might be in a carb coma. So Upcycled Arts is basically a thrift store for art supplies, and it is delightful. It's smaller than Reconsidered Goods if you've been in the Charlotte or Greensboro area and have been there. It's a little smaller, but it's also only been open since April. So my mom told me about it on Saturday, 2 weeks ago. We had stitching on Sunday. I went immediately after stitching. And we hit the mother lode. My friend and I spent 2 hours going through 3 bins of gorgeous charts and a ginormous bin of linen and fabric. Got a ton of great deals, which I'm about to show you. Then I came home, needed to take to my bed. I was verklempt, I was overwhelmed with emotion. It was like, I don't know what to do. I don't know if I need to take a nap or have a cigarette. It's, it's one of those feelings. You just, it was so exciting. It was so exciting. And these are, it's GGR, Scarlet Letter, it's Blackbird designs. It's the charts that we all love. So somebody very generously donated something. I don't know if a stitcher just passed away and they didn't know what else to do. And that's what's great about these. If you can find a thrift store that's for crafts in your area, it's a great place for people like us to go and explore, and you know that it's going to a place where somebody will appreciate it. And sometimes when you give it to Salvation Army or Goodwill, the right people may find it, but you know for sure that when you give creative and crafty things to a crafty thrift store, it's going to the right place. And if you're in the Charlotte area and you like to sew and you like to cross stitch, there's still plenty there. I will tell you that the fabric that was there is definitely gone. And I might have helped with that because I did come home and post it on the Tar Heel cross stitching group on Facebook. So I might have helped spread the word a little too much. but they still have Riley Blake and Lori Holt quilt kits for less than $100. They have threads, which I'll show you, for like $6.50. That would easily cost $16 a spool or more. You know, they had anchor thread. They had some DMCs there. They also had like off-brand embroidery threads. They still have a lot of things, and I'm sure they'll get more donations over time. But definitely, if this kind of thing interests you, follow them on Instagram. They're Upcycle Arts, CLT. And they do post interesting finds. Like just the other day, they posted a cool typewriter and like a head mold kind of thing that you'd put like a hat on kind of deal. And typewriter's already gone kind of deal. So definitely stalk them, go visit. They've got great hours. They're 11 to 7, Thursday through Sunday. And it's a cute shop. I will tell you, when we went on a Sunday, there were a couple people there. When we went today, there were like 15 people there. And it was busy. It was very busy, which is good to see. But I know they'll have workshops and that sort of thing. But let's see what I got. I'm sorry, Mia. Did I disturb you? So sweet. Okay. Where to start? So this is from my first visit. And what I'm about to show you cost me about $50. And it's a lot of things. It's mostly cross-stitched, but I did find some things that were not cross-stitched, like these little beads. They're shell beads and bonus in a cute little jar. The Coats and Clark thread that I was that I mentioned, this is all cotton and it's 1,200 yards and it's 30 weight count. Coats and Clark. Now it's probably a little dustier than the Aurifil, but it feels very similar in weight. I know it says it's 30 count in the and the Aurifil thread that I like to use is really more of an 80 weight. But I will tell you, I don't feel a ton of a difference in the threads, and I really, you guys know I love Kate from The Last Homely House, and this is her Marrakesh kind of variegated colors, so I felt I needed to get that. I got Chenille it for some finishing. If you guys haven't ever tried this, and this was, this is $10. That's expensive for this. Anyway, well, it's not expensive for the product. It was one of the more expensive things I bought. This is a really cool material and finishing tool where, like on quilts and such, you could literally sew this down, and when you wash it, then the chenille comes to life. But until you wash it, it just looks like a tape. I know it's in the thing, so it just looks like a big roll of tape, but it will get, and black, always good for finishing. The other thing that I've been eyeing for a long time, I've never wanted to buy, especially at full price, are the Alphabetties. And this is a Lori Holt brainchild. And so they're little letters and numbers. So when you're cutting your quilt out, you can label them a certain thing and just put one of these Alphabetties right on the pile of materials, and you don't forget what you cut. And as previously mentioned, my brain isn't always functioning properly. So then I got all of this fabric, all this glorious fabric. So it's mostly 40 count, if I remember correctly. But this is Victoria Sponge Cake. I think I've already taken stuff out, so I apologize. This is a nice neutral as well. I think that's Legacy Linens, actually. Another 1, 2, 3 stitch buy. This is Weeks Dye Works. Just linen color. It's about a quarter of a yard. This is Antique Lace by Seraphim. 40 count. This is Affogato by Fiber on a Whim. 40 count. This is a nice, another fat quarter. This is Milk and Honey fat quarter by Fiber on a Whim. This is Cream and Sugar. This is also a fat quarter. I got Weeks Dye Works. I don't know what the name of it is though. Oh, it's putty. Read the label all the way back. I was reading upside down, just to be clear. That's putty. This is a black Jobelin. This is actually a 28 count. I figured that'd be nice to play around with, or mom if you want it. This is Weeks Dye Work. This is the Aztec Red, and this is also a 40 count, and it's like 13 by 17. So not quite I guess it's an 1/8 of a yard. A fat 1/8. Is that what we're calling it? This wasn't labeled, but I believe this is vintage country mocha. I believe it's also 40 count. And then this is white Newcastle 40 count, and this is 18 by 27. I think this is a yard. Yeah, this is a yard. Always good to have that. That's when I'm doing a peacock, a unicorn, a badger on. And these came in like baggies. Some of these came in like 2 to a baggie kind of deal, and each one of these was like $5. That's what I said, $5. And then here are the charts. So like I said, there were 3 tubs of charts, and there were several like repeats, which is nice. And there were some that I've had on my list for a while, and after we went through everything, like we went through things again and just really kind of pared down, because I really did. I know I'm at a thrift store and these are really good buys, but you know, a budget is a budget. Not that I really had one, but I start off with Hands Across the Sea. This is Waste Not, Want Not, which I've liked since I saw it. I got this super cute little guy. Isn't he adorable? These are all $1 each, just so you know. I mean, I loved this when it first came out, even though it has a Santa hat, and I'm not really big into Christmas. But I am big into dachshunds, and they're adorable. I got this guy. So pretty. This is one that I've wanted a long time, and I really just want the border. I don't really want to do the center. And what I think I'm going to do is I've been inspired by the Curious Crafters, and I think what I'll do is some genealogy in the middle. Now, then, after I found that, I found this one, and I like this border too. So this could be the same kind of situation. Isn't that pretty? I don't want it to get too glary, but isn't that border just delicious? So pretty. Remember me. This Blackbird one, I got it mostly because it was old. And it's only one pattern in here. It's really cute. Here's another another view of it. I loved this one. Gathering berries. Always love this. $1 each, people. And then I got this one. Because you have to. For $1. That was my haul from 2 weekends ago. So when I posted on the Tar Heel Stitchers group, one of my Sunday stitchers who was not with us on Sunday because she was out cruising with the other cross stitchers that went to, they had big fun, and there were big names on the cruise that were there just for cruising. They weren't there for teaching. And then I know Jacob of Modern Folk Embroidery met them, and they went to the Wales. They went to go see where Nessie was. They did a British Isles tour. It was wonderful. So she instantly was jealous of this craft store, so I felt obligated to take her today. And this fabric is, let me stop for a minute and say, Sunday Stitching Group, we have very generous friends that are part of that group, so there's more fabric to give away. So I got these here. This is, I don't know how to pronounce this, but it is Under the Sea Fabrics. It is a 40 count. Look how cool that is. Very cool, right? And that's a fat quarter. Though it feels like a whole half yard. But it's got the fat quarter highlighted on it. I don't know. Maybe it is just a fat quarter. I got this. This is from number 12 Stitch Co. It's called Steely Nights. It is also 40 count. Isn't that pretty? I just thought that was, I don't know what it is about grays, but I love them. Really like a good gray. And then this is also from number 12 Stitch Co. This is Rain Cloud, which I think is even prettier. It's just a lighter gray. And again, I think these are all fat quarters. So I got those things for free because my friends are lovely. And then let's get into the meat of the situation. So there were some things that I wanted that I didn't get the last time that were still there. So I indulged as a reward for being good and waiting. So I wanted more of that thread. So I got these 3 colors. All, as you can see, variegated, but all very pretty. So I got those. I got this. This was not, oh, this is so blown out. Lori Holt has some, why can't I think of the name of these? What style they are. There's a particular name to call this, and I know people are yelling it at the camera now. But these are just a big old charm pack of her backgrounds, fabrics, the ball jars, that kind of stuff. So I like having these low volume. Thank you. Whoever yelled it, I finally heard you. Low volume prints. So because it didn't have a price on it, they weighed it and they just sold it to me by weight. How fantastic. And then a hidden fabric. that my friend gave me was Fox and Rabbit Flannel Flower. Also a great neutral. Sorry, that one snuck in. These charts were still $1. I liked them the first time I saw them. But again, just rewarding myself for being patient. So Stacy Nash's Birds of a Feather needle keep. And I didn't realize there's 2 patterns for this. Maybe it's supposed to be the front and the back. I don't know, but I like this set here. This is the Hobby House press of Hobby House Needleworks, and this is an antique drum. It's basically the alphabet all the way around, and that border is just a repeating border. So you're kind of seeing that. In the top, let me cover the chart. There's the top too. That's a different chart. So I thought that was super cute. I finally got GH 1857. I do not intend to do the big one. I do not intend to do the big one. I do not intend to do the big one. I just love all the big charts. What can I say? But I love this mattress here. I love this needle book here. I love all the smalls. So you can certainly pull out whatever you want. But for $1, heaven's sakes, it's still there. There were like 3 copies the last time I was there, so having 1 copy left is clearly a sign. This is a Modern Folk Embroidery, the IDM sampler. I don't know how I've slept on this one. I'm going to take the sticker off. I don't know why. You know it's $1. I'm not trying to hide it from you. But I think I just don't want that on my chart any longer. It's my chart. Mine. Okay. This is so pretty. And this is not a big sampler. Impressive, I know. Look how pretty that is. Just get in there. That is, I mean, it's like wall-to-wall stitching. But it's so cute. Dogs and cats and birds and big impressive flowers. Let me see if I can get to the stitch count again, because I feel like it's, yeah, 167 by 173. Not big. And then again, this is one chart that was here that had several copies and still 1 left. And since it is almost my birthday month, flowers for your birthday. So that's really pretty. Just 1 chart. And then Birds of a Feather. If you can see closely, those flowers are checkered. And it's a real funky alphabet all the way around it. So the house is not super appealing to me, but everything else is. And then one thing I haven't discussed yet is the location of Upcycle Arts. Conveniently, literally next door to a used bookstore. Am I a lucky girl? I'm totally a lucky girl. So I started watching Jackie. And now I'm not going to remember, she's a newer Flosstuber, but one of her claims to fame already is that she used to work for Mary Inglebright. I loved Mary Inglebright back in the day. I still love Mary Inglebright, let's not get me wrong. And when I was reorganizing my sewing room, I had a Mary Inglebright book, and I donated it because I was like, realistically, will I stitch out of it? Probably not. It's nostalgic, yes, but could this go somewhere else? Yes. Well, since Jerry started showing, I started getting nostalgic for it again, and they had it at the used bookstore, so I bought it. So this is the book that I had and now have again, and there's a lot of cute patterns in it. But wait, there's more. They had Mary Englebright cross stitch for all seasons, which made me nervous because you know I'm not a seasonal stitcher. But turns out it's not. They do have Christmas, they do have Halloween in here, but it's like tea time and wedding samplers and harvest samplers. So it's not holiday something or other. And like, look, I mean, I'm not a seasonal stitcher, but tell me that's not cute. Tell me that's not cute. And then what I want to show you is the everyone deserves their own spot. Classic Mary Englebright. So, yet again, yeah, this is classic as well. And she's got ornaments and such. So, I had a good time. It was a good time. I recommend everyone going. Hopefully you have a crafty thrift store your way. I know there's one in Texas. I know that Swanson Fabrics, if you're into knitting, they often have yarn and such. They also have fabrics out of like dress wear as well as quilting cottons and upholstery and such. Swanson Fabrics, I don't know their location. I shop online and follow them online. They have fabric drops often, and again, the premise is everything's $5 a yard. And if you donate something, you can take the same amount back, I think, something similar to that. So if you live locally, it's definitely a good place to go. But the whole idea is to not fill the landfills with all this fabric and to help people who need a lower point of entry into the crafts to have access to the goods, the good stuff. And it is good stuff that I've purchased a couple of times from Swanson Fabrics. And now they're a nonprofit. They run it by mostly volunteers, so it's not like Amazon where you get it fast. But it's not like 4 weeks out kind of deal. You get it fairly quickly. But yeah. So everybody, that is my haul. Oh, I didn't talk about this. The Weeds and Wildflower, I did order the bag. So this is all ready to go. The zipper was very small, so I immediately had to put some bling on it. And then what it comes with in this bag, in this style bag that I got, because I believe I got the big one, is it has a thread bed, which I put my needle minder on already, and then a little zipper pouch. So that's all packed up with my candy that came in the bag that I'm still resisting. The cute little scissors that came with it. It had the pattern, but I gave the pattern away because I bought the digital pattern. I'm a digital girl now, as I've mentioned before. The delicious butter fabric, and that goes with the Roxy Flosstube, the reds. And now Caroline's birthday is the 7th. So I get to start this on Sunday. And I'm very excited about that. So I know Caroline's planning to have a little bit of a stitch along, but I think her first couple of days she's not going to start right away with the videos. But please join us. It's still available to buy. Any or all of these things are available on evertotes.com. And I think that's all, people. I have 17 days until I turn 50. There are 10 days until my dad turns 80. We won't say how old my mother is. But she's older than me and younger than my dad. We'll say that. So, I know I plan to go to Boone to hang out with the parental units and celebrate birthdays and Father's Day and all that stuff and be low-key and just chill, Netflix and chill, so to speak, in the plutonic way with my folks and do some stitching. I do intend to start on Weeds and Wildflowers, and then my other stitch, which is in this bag, my birthday Liberty of London bag. This is, oh no, that's not what I was thinking. This, I do plan to bring this. This is Flowers of Quaker. That's what it says. This is with my Valdani threads. So I plan to do that, take that with me. I'll bring my peacock, a unicorn, a badger, but I might not do a lot on that. And let's see if this is in here. Yes, this is what I want to start for my birthday. This is a Stitch in Time exclusive, and one of the reasons why I wanted it was, of course I like the Stitch in Time Saves 9, but also the date on it was July, with no initials on it really. I mean, there's an A there, but maybe I'll turn that to a B. Or that's A. I can't. What am I doing? Don't read in the monitor backwards. But I got, for that, I got the fabric and the threads. This is the first time I'm using the Soie de Jais thread, so I'm excited about that. And so I will be taking that to Boone. But I should be recording one more time before I go, so I should see you before my birthday one more time, just to remind you about my birthday one more time. Because in case you might forget. And just to be clear, I'm not saying that because I want gifts. I really just want, yay, it's your birthday. So feel free to load up my DMs, send me a text message if you got my number, send me a comment. I'll be a happy girl. That's really all I want. It is great to be an adult and buy what you want when you want. So I clearly, after this haul here, need nothing. I just need time and friends to stitch with. So please give me that. Give me your time and attention and I will be fine. But I hope you guys have a great couple weeks. Hope you enjoyed watching my dog sleep. She's so sweet. Yes, you're so sweet. Can we disturb you? She's like, no, not really. So I am going to get back to watching Flosstube myself and putting on my compression glove to help with my carpal tunnel because I really did a number on myself stitching. Stitch ergonomically, folks, and have a good couple weeks. Bye.